But then the New Day, they did a package on because it was the 10th anniversary of the New Day, the formation of the team. And so they did a history package, video package on them with Kofi and Xavier and Big E and the trombones and the cereal and the bootios and the bootians and Kofi was when he won the title, Kofi was the champion and Big E was the champion and Xavier was king of the ring. It didn't say anything about Odyssey. Where do you think Odyssey was?
That's a good question.
Somebody ought to go out on an Odyssey and look for him.
He's almost like a figment of your imagination. He was there, but was he really? He was there and then he was gone. Did he really exist?
Yeah, because Big E could come out. Hey, who's that big fucking guy you were talking about a few months ago? Now, anyway, I never got the trombones and the cereal and I think each of the guys in their own way individually were good, especially Woods to me were good workers, but the outfits and the trombones and the cereal and etc. was always so silly. And it had already been established by the time that you and I started watching this programming again. So, but I never got it. It's like what Dennis Miller said about the reunification of East and West Germany. I didn't like their previous work, and I'm not sure I want to see the new stuff, right? As a tag team or people with trombones, I didn't want to see these people. But by the time they finish the next 15 minutes, I want to see these fucking people. As long as they drop the trombones and the fucking cereal. This was great. I couldn't believe that. Could you believe this was great, what we're about to talk about?
This is the best thing I've ever seen with the New Day ever. It said that it's their breakup. It was the best thing I've ever seen them do, and everyone did a great job, but the facial reactions from Big E
Yes.
as this was happening were the most believable reactions of someone who is disappointed, crushed, whatever you want to say. This segment was astounding. Best thing any of them have ever done. Incredible.
And I mean, you know that they had, because everything that they said made sense and was complicated, and you had to remember the history and the stuff. So they had to really put a lot of work in it because they did great. But for the folks who didn't see it, they had the ring set up and the balloons and belts and big blown up pictures on tripods and cereal in the ring. The WWE treatment, yes, but the 10th anniversary of the New Day. And they're the most decorated tag team in WWE history, which again, but then they've been there for 10 years in the days of top tag teams all over the business. Nobody stayed in the one company and won the belts 12 times unless it was a smaller territory. But nevertheless.
And by the way, Demolition not just had tag titles, but they literally decorated their face. So you could say they're the most decorated tag team of all time.
You're just a Demolition fan and you're reaching now.
You just hate Demolition.
I don't hate Demolition. As Barry Darsow, I've loved him, known him since.
You like the people.
Louisiana. And I'm being honest when, yes, it was Vince's answer to the Road Warriors. And it was they were the Fantastics to the Rock and Roll Express. How's that?
You know, some say it's Vince's reaction to the Road Warriors. Other people say it's Randy Colley's reaction to the Road Warriors.
Well, it could be that also. But anyway, so Pierce congratulated him and the fans chanted for him. And was it ever explained in years gone by why Woods holds the microphone like that? It's very off. I can't look away.
I don't know an explanation, no.
I don't know. But so Woods was humble and said thank you to all the fans, and Kofi did the same. And remember last week, they got in an argument. They just told each other what the fuck was wrong with each other and how they needed to modify their behavior. And as you'll recall when we talked about it, I said it sounded like they both had a bit of a point, right? But it sounded irreconcilable. And so they've got the somber faces, and Wood says, what we're about to tell you fans is not your fault. And Kofi said that, well, Woods and I have talked, and we feel that when it comes to the new day going forward, see, they're going to announce their fucking breakup, right? Suddenly, Big E's music plays, and he gets a big pop because he hadn't been around. Did they say it's been 4 years since he hurt his neck?
I believe they said that, but he is around. He's on like the pregame show and the postgame show for the pay-per-views on Peacock.
Well, yeah, but all right, Mr. Goddamn Randy McNally with all the minute details. He hadn't been around on Raw or SmackDown. He hadn't been part of their team. The story that they told, the announcers told, was that he is on the pregame show, but he hasn't been on Raw or SmackDown. And I believe they said 4 years. Maybe, are they exaggerating? Is where I was going. But you have to correct me on everything. But anyway, he hadn't been around in a while there with them in that way. And he gets in the ring, like you said, he was great. And he's like trying to be, the friend that's in the middle and the peacemaker. He gets on both of them for saying hurtful things to each other. Because all we had when we started was each other. And he did the emotional promo about all that they'd been through together when they came to his bedside in the hospital, and when the other guy did this and did that, and our children, and think of the children. God damn, think of the children. And so it was good. He was good. And he said, but here's the thing. You guys, after all we've been through together, Kane, it's not going to end this way. Until I'm medically cleared to return to the ring, I'm going to be here to remind you who you guys are. I'm going to be here to cheer you on, to uplift you, to give you spirit. I'm going to serve as your manager. Just every night I'll be with you.
And the fans popped.
And the fans popped. And they started chanting, E, 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 E. It was almost like Ishii had switched sides. And then they chanted, New Day rocks, New Day rocks. And Big E's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all excited. And I knew something was up when both Kofi and Woods had the stone faces. And I'll be a son of a gun, wouldn't you know who won the pony? They have swerved us, because all this time, we've been waiting for Woods to turn on Kofi, and Woods was going to be the heel, and Woods was being the prick, and Woods wouldn't get over stuff. And they've swerved us. They're both on the same side. And they used Big E, and this was perfect because Woods said, now you want to come back after we've been arguing with each other for months. You want to come back now? You left us to begin with. And Big E said, I broke my neck. And Kofi's, you broke your neck, so what? Stone Cold broke his neck. Angle broke his neck. Edge broke. They all broke their necks, and they came back. They were blaming Big E. This was fucking great.
And he was selling it in his face.
Yes.
Like you would almost, I don't even know how to describe it, but you would see, he would almost like mumble to himself.
Yes.
Like something he like, whoa, you could tell it was perfect.
Humming. And Kofi said, you never even had surgery. You couldn't come back. You never had surgery. And Big E starts apologizing. Well, I did the therapy. And it's now please. And Kofi said, you chose your new life over us. And, your new desk job. I don't know. I guess because he's at the announce desk. And your new girlfriend. I don't know if that was necessary to bring that in. People may take that any way you might.
That got a reaction from the fans when they.
Well, they were kind of like, ooh, that's personal.
Yeah.
Who is his girlfriend someone we should know, or is it?
We've never heard a single thing about him having a girlfriend or who it is. So that was just them throwing something out there to make it more believable.
Oh, I thought you meant so you were thinking he was gay because you never heard about him
That's
having
not what
a
I
girlfriend.
said. I don't know what the
You
hell.
see, you never heard about him having a girlfriend.
I don't
So
ask around about, hey, so who's Big E fucking this week? I don't do
well,
that.
yeah, a guy named Big E, you might better keep an eye on that. That might be worth knowing.
Well, if he was Big D, maybe it'd be worth knowing. But Big E, I don't know.
Well, you know what?
Why are we doing this?
E follows D, and vitamin E.
This is a serious segment we're talking
Vitamin
about
E
here.
will help the D. But so anyway, Kofi said you chose all this stuff over us, and Woods says, "Do you realize the burden that you've become to us? We miss you, but you don't miss us, and you're never going to be cleared. So get the hell out of the ring and back to your desk where you belong." And again, and his lip is quivering, and his eyes are just puddling up, and he's off microphone. He's not even speaking on a microphone. He's standing there and he's looking like he don't know whether to go or to stay. And then he's talking, and you can hear it because the camera microphone is picking it up. I'm not going to let you throw this away like that. I'm not going to let you throw this away like that. His arms are out. He wants a hug, and Kofi stiff arms him. And he said, "No, it can't. No, you can't." And he gets out of the ring heartbroken. They're putting up all kinds of argument about this, which made it, all the better. And as he's moping off, Woods and fucking Kofi shake hands with each other. And it's like, yeah, we've always got Buenos Aires or whatever the fuck. And so did anybody suspect that was coming in that fashion?
Not in that fashion, no. I guess the next question is, where do they go from here? The heel, I don't know if you call them the New Day, but the heel Xavier Woods Kofi Kingston team could be interesting. Who are they working with? Is Big E coming back? And if not, is he going to be the manager for someone else? Where are they going to go with it? Like, there has to be a match with someone.
Well, here's the thing. Because remember I said when Odyssey was involved, and it looked like Woods was turning on both of them because he wasn't happy about Kofi liking the big man or whatever. I was thinking, well, goddamn, Woods better get mad or get glad, one or the other, because what's he going to do about it? If he turns that he's got this 400-pound guy and his partner, and he needs some help, who would that be? So maybe now that maybe they were building to doing this type of turn, and now that I'm talking it through, it sounds plausible. They were building toward doing this type of turn with Odyssey Jones, where they would both turn as a team on him in this kind of fashion. And since he didn't work out, they said, well, let's do it with Big E. E does not have to be returning now, or to be E was the straw that stirred this, in terms of he had the most history with them. If they had to come up with a plan B, and they noticed that, well, now in just a couple months it'll be 10 years, and Big E doesn't have to wrestle, we can just turn these guys heel because we want them to be a heel team. Then E was what the device that was used to make sure the people know they're heels. And then they could shoot some kind of angle with a tag team. And I don't think that, I think we would have heard about it if E was going to be cleared anytime in the near future. So I think this would, because how can you not be a heel when you're turning on your former partner that broke his neck and people know it for real?
Yeah, I guess we also got to see what happens next. I mean, it's not like they put hands on him other than like pushing him away. They didn't hit him. That'd be a major heel move that would get some heat.
Well, and it also might be a move that can get some legal support in court if anything happened to him, and he sued TKO for $7 billion.